What is up, everyone? It's Jinx JK here. Today I want to take you through a step-by-step process of how to increase your rank. And these tips will be specifically for the rank you're currently at. So what I'm going to be doing is, if you want to get from, say, iron to bronze, I'm going to give you a specific goal that you need to achieve. And I'm going to go through every single rank all the way up to challenger. Let's get started. So in Iron, you're brand new to the game, or you've recently just switched from another game, coming in brand new at TFT, you have no idea what's going on. The simplest thing you can do to get from Iron to Bronze is save up to 50 gold. These little golden bars at the side indicate how much gold you have, and for each 10 gold that you have, you're going to be getting one extra little golden nugget until you have 5 of them, meaning you've reached the maximum amount of interest you can get, which is 5 extra gold. So the way it works is for every 10 gold you have, you're getting 1 extra gold. So get to that 50 gold, you're getting the maximum interest. Now, from this point, what you want to do is any excess gold above 50, you're going to be spending just down to 50. If you need to get upgrades, for example, you need to 2-star a unit, and that happens when you get 3 of a kind. Okay, so once you get 3 of a kind, you've upgraded your unit. That's what you're going to be spending your gold on first to get upgrades. Once the majority of your units on the field are upgraded, then what you want to look to do is hit that level up button. And again, you're always trying to stay above the 50 gold. Now, if your health starts getting low, you're dropping to, 50, 40 HP, this is when you can go ahead and spend all your gold. Go all the way down to 0 if you need to. Make sure you're leveling up and rolling to hit your big units and your big upgrades. Alright, you've gotten a little better with saving up your gold, getting to that 50. Now to get from bronze to silver, we need to know what we're going to be spending that gold on. And this is where I want you to look for an S tier build. 1 to 2 S tier builds that you have in mind. You know which units you need, you know what you're looking for when you're rolling down. So to get from bronze to silver, just spam these builds. Whether it's 2 that you like, you can decide what the game is giving you, or if it's just one really strong one, again, that's completely fine. To get from bronze to silver, spam an S tier build. You know exactly what you're spending your money on, while other people are still figuring stuff out, what the characters do, champions, blah blah blah. You know exactly what you're looking for. Now, a quick little disclaimer, this does not mean that you will always be forcing builds. As you get better and better, you will become more flexible at picking what the game is giving you based on items, etc. We're going to talk about that later on. But this is just the simplest way to get from bronze to silver. Now, to get yourself from silver to gold, you're going to need to familiarize yourself with the items, and not just which components make what items, but knowing which items go best with which champions. For example, right now in the current patch 10.7, Kale excels with Rapid Fire Cannon, Guardian Angel, and Hand of Justice. Another example is Jhin with Infinity Edge, Guardian Angel, and Runon's Hurricane. This will be your introduction to playing builds based on what items you're getting. This is so important because teamfight tactics relies heavily on the items that you have. You can spend more gold to re-roll different units, but you can't spend gold to get different items. You're stuck with what the game is giving you. To get from gold to platinum, this is where you're going to have to start working on your positioning. And no, I don't just mean doing it 1 game or 2 games. This needs to become a habit. You're doing it every single game, almost every single round. I've pulled up an example here. This is how you would play around Blitzcrank and Infiltrators, for example, in this set. So we have the Fiora here that's getting pulled by the Blitzcrank. We have the Lucian off to the side so that when Infiltrators are jumping, they're going to be going either to the Leona or our Fiora, leaving our Lucian free to do loads of damage. Now, some other things you're going to need to understand about positioning is Zephyr. Do you know how the Zephyr works? Do you know how to manipulate the mana gain on your frontline units so they can get their ultimates off quickly at the beginning of the fight? And are you aware that Lulu polymorphs the 4 closest targets? All of these you can use to your advantage. The more you know about positioning, the easier it will be for you to climb from gold to platinum. Also, another thing, what's great about this rank is you can just memorize a few certain positioning tips for the early, mid, and late game that are specific to your build, and it will be enough for you to climb into platinum. But if you're going to try to get from platinum to diamond, this is where you're going to have to start scouting. You're going to be developing the skill and the habit to consistently scout every round, but not just doing it mindlessly. You need to know what you're going to be looking for. And some things you're looking for is what are people playing? What builds are open? Sometimes in patches, there can only be one person playing a certain build. Sometimes a build can support multiple people, so you need to keep track of that. Another thing is when we talked about the blitzcrank, the infiltrators, when you're scouting, now you want to check which side is the blitzcrank on. Where are the infiltrators jumping? How can you keep your carry safe? And then the other key thing to look for is gold. How much gold do people have? So in general terms, when people are saving up 40 to 50 gold, it means they're going to have weaker boards because they haven't really spent yet looking for those upgrades. And and on the other hand, if you see that they have little gold, 20 to 10 gold, and it's around that mid game, it probably means that they just spent their gold to get major upgrades. So they're going to be quite strong, and you might need to match that so you don't completely get knocked out of the park. You've built a good habit of scouting, and now you're looking to go from diamond, pushing up into that master and grandmaster rank. This is where you need to learn about transitional units. So tier lists like this are great to help you out on that. What's great about these lists is that not only do they show which champions are strongest in the S tier builds, but they just show which champions are just strong standalone units. For example, Graves, one of the best one cost units with his ultimates just completely shutting down units and their attack speed. Something that cannot attack, it's not doing damage, he basically wins you fights. What diamond players are really good at doing is creating cheap boards that can keep their health very, very high. Okay, so they're making strong boards for cheap. Now, some other great examples is utilizing units with specific items, right? So as you're building up your board, you're making a Morello, you have a Seraph's piece. If you throw Morello Seraphs on a Kaisa, you don't even need to go into infiltrators or any kind of Kaisa build. Just use the Kaisa to hold on to those items. She's killing 3-4 units every single fight. It's amazing to see. Another example for this current patch 10.7 will be Zaya with a static Shiv. So these are just some, small 1-cost, 2-cost units that you can use because you're getting all your money back when you're selling an upgraded 1-cost unit, and you are losing a bit of gold on the 2-cost, but what they're giving you in return, the amount of health that you're preserving by utilizing them just as a transitional unit, is well worth it. What transitional units will allow you to do is pivoting smoothly from the early, mid to late game, and even pivoting between builds based on what the game is giving you. When TFT is in a well-balanced state, some items support multiple champions, and if you figure out which transitional units hold those items best, well, now you can have options open as you're getting into that mid and late game, rolling down, deciding which build you're going to be playing based on what you're getting, since you have items that support 2-3 builds. You're going to have to keep up to date with each patch, knowing which champions are best used as a transition, and as you get really good at this, it's what's going to push you into that master and grandmaster rank. But now you're looking at the big leagues, you want to hit that challenger, and honestly, the difference between grandmaster, master players and challenger players, it's the little things. The best example I have of this is the guide that Mismatched Socks put out on Reddit in set 2. When you look at the guide and what he talked about, he didn't talk about what build to play, what units are strong. All he did was mention few little small details on positioning, early game positioning, how it preserves health, and the consistency at which he's doing it. Little tricks like manipulating Singed, using Zephyr to get to backline units. It was all small little things that when done consistently will give him an overall better average placement. There's many of these small things you can be doing to give you an edge every single turn. For example, at this point, you might already know about the mana bug, right? When you place a tier on a unit and then you complete the item after the fight starts, he's getting an extra 20 mana. But not just using it mindlessly, saving it when you specifically need to keep a win streak right before a creep round. Keeping Zephyr units on the bench so that when enemies are scouting, they don't see your Zephyrs. Find these small things and use them consistently. Someone like Mismatched Socks is changing his board every single turn. With positioning, he's changing his positioning every single turn. Keep track of who you're fighting. You know, you can go as far as guessing almost exactly who you're going to be fighting next by using the home and away trick, right? You're keeping track of the last 3 opponents you fought, so you can't fight one of those 3, and then you have the remaining 4 players. What you can start to look for is if your board is a home game, meaning it doesn't have a portal, and then you look through the other 4 players, look for who will have a portal, because it's going to be opposite, right? If you're home, they're going to be away. Look for those details to get a positioning advantage and do them consistently. This is how you're going to achieve Challenger. So let's just do a quick summary. In Iron, your main goal is reach 50 gold, get to that 50 gold, spend any excess gold above 50. For Bronze, you're looking to find 1 or 2 S tier builds, spam them, get to Silver. Silver, you're trying to look for which champions utilize specific items best. Once you get familiar with these item combinations along with the champions, it's what will push you into Gold. At Gold, you're starting to work on positioning. Learn tips and tricks from streamers, ask questions, look up guides. In Platinum, you want to start making a habit of scouting. Scout, scout, scout. Look for what builds are open, which side the Blitzcrank, Zephyr infiltrators, where they're all jumping, and how much gold people have. In Diamond, you're starting to utilize transitional units to help you pivot. This is what's going to preserve your health, keeping it high as it starts making a really big difference in these ranks. Once you're Master and Grandmaster, it's going to be the consistent positioning and scouting, these little tips and tricks you've learned along the way, using them at key moments of the game. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate the time that you're spending with me. And if you found anything useful here, I would really appreciate you subscribing, as it really helps me. I will be posting a build guide for patch 10.7. Stay tuned for that. I'll see you next time.